To keep his shameful secret of infertility from being exposed, the god of the desert seized his former wife by her wings. Before the violent Set, the guardian goddess was utterly defenseless. Without a shred of mercy, he severed her wings completely.
Why? No one will know until it's too late.
But this was only part of his sinister plan, to forge himself a suit of ultimate armor. He had already gouged out both eyes of Horus, the god of the sky, and ripped out the heart of his own brother, Osiris, the god of life. Set's ambitions extended far beyond ruling Egypt. He craved divine enhancements that would allow him to dominate the underworld as well. To stop Set, Horus, who had managed to recover one of his eyes, joined forces with a mortal companion and scaled Egypt's highest peak to pray to the sun god for aid. His prayers were answered. Empowered by Ra's divine blessing, Horus transformed once again into a golden warrior. With this temporary surge of godly power, he grabbed Bek and shot into the sky, following the sun's trajectory through the atmosphere and racing toward the cosmos. At last, they beheld a magnificent vessel suspended in the void of space, the Solar Bark, commanded by his grandfather Ra, who had stood guard here for millennia. Horus and Bek touched down on the deck, but night had not yet fallen, and the scorching heat was unbearable for any mortal. Bek had no choice but to huddle in Horus's shadow as they both knelt before the sun god. Ra, however, showed nothing but contempt. He berated Horus for daring to bring a mortal into his sacred domain. Just as Horus was about to explain himself, Ra silenced him and ordered him to stay put. There were far more pressing matters at hand. Ra swiftly donned his crown, shed his cloak, and began pounding his chest with tremendous force. With each thunderous blow, his body grew taller until he towered as a colossal giant, radiating blinding divine light. This, it turned out, was Ra's daily shift. Standing in the command chamber, he gripped the chains that bound the sun and steered its course across the heavens. At the same time, he wielded the sun's power to hold back the chaos serpent that threatened to invade the earth. Every day at this hour, the beast of chaos would emerge from the darkness, hungering to devour the world Ra had created. And every time, Ra would take up his spear and drive the monster back into the abyss.
Crawl back to shadow, you stinking worm! You shall never feast on my creation!
Though the Chaos Beast feared the Sun God's power, it never ceased its relentless pursuit of destruction. Ra teleported back to Horus's side and made it clear he had no energy to spare for mortal conflicts. The Chaos Beast grew stronger with each passing day, and he could not afford any distractions. So when Horus pleaded for help, Ra told him he would have to solve this on his own. Even after Horus recounted how Set had murdered his brother and seized the throne, and described in detail the atrocities Set had inflicted upon the people, Ra remained unmoved. He had long known of Set's deeds. In his eyes, whether mortal or divine, all must accept the capricious nature of fate and the natural order of change. He would not intervene. After all, Set was also his own flesh and blood, as precious to him as everything else he had created. Seeing there was no point in pressing further, Horus made one final request: some of the waters of life, which could extinguish the flames of the desert and weaken the very